Hey guys, Gretchen here. So this last week I did not post any videos, which I'm sure you noticed. And I also said that the next video was going to be a Reiki video, which I clearly lied because I'm not going to do a Reiki video right now. Adjust this a little bit more. I am very tired. This weekend I participated in the St. Louis Heritage Fair in the healing arts area. So this was an amazing experience. I got to meet a lot of other really great healers, other Reiki masters. I got to meet some Acro Yoga people, hula hoop people. I got to meet a lady who works with crystals on your face. The crystal myofascial, I forget what it said. Anyway, I'm gonna try to list them all in my thing in the bottom, not today because I'm gonna do this super quick. So I was there for a trauma release program, and what I did was a quick 15-minute blah on trauma release, which you know it's much more in depth than that, and a 45-minute Kundalini the first day, and then just a 30-minute Kundalini the second day. Kundalini Yoga is a really, really great way to get that trauma released physically from your body. I'm going to, of course, flip over to my things. I'm going to pull up the presentation that I actually gave to um maybe I'm gonna pull up the presentation that I gave at Forest Park in St. Louis this weekend, Labor Day weekend 2022. Such a blast, guys, like such a blast. This woman Jennifer busted her butt to like get this to pulled off, and it pulled off beautifully. There were like bounce houses, kids running around barefoot like they should be, no fear of like stepping on needles. It is St. Louis, so we don't go barefoot a lot of the places in the urban areas. So it began with, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this amazing event. Thank you to our hosts, St. Louis Car Museum, Fat Buddha Productions, and of course the St. Louis World's Fair Heritage Food and Games, and Jennifer for working day and night. And then Tammy Norris, she was the beauty that recommended me for the event. So then I go into, hi, the last 3 decades, it's become my passion to study herbalism, yoga, and trauma to not only heal myself, but to heal others. I have my 500 yoga trauma certification, my master herbalist certification, Reiki Grandmaster, nutritionist certification, list goes on. I work primarily with alcoholic and opioid trauma and body systems recovery, heart, liver, lungs, brain, intestines, kidney, recovery from childhood abuse, sexual abuse, and narcissistic relationships. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I feel if I did this presentation for others, that you, my subscribers who are healers, would like to add some of these modalities to your healing modalities. You know, reach out to other healers, collaborate, maybe get a big healing session going. It's like if you get this giant love vibe going. So we're here today to learn where trauma is trapped in the body and how to get rid of it. Kundalini Yoga. Not only Kundalini Yoga, but I would really recommend Acro Yoga because it's a partnership thing, so you really build on that trust. But it has some nice gentle hip openers, and aerial yoga, especially for those of us who have so much trauma that it's become arthritis or becomes so embedded in our bodies. We're hunched, we have significant amounts of pain. Our sciatic nerve gets rolled under things, and we stay, pretty owy. So the aerial yoga will help not only set your body back into homeostasis, but physically release that trauma, allowing those energy centers to flow. Yeah. So those are 3 really great yogas for this, other than just vinyasa yoga, which is the one that you're most likely most familiar with. So Kundalini is a yoga breath work primarily done, the yoga breath work is primarily done through the nostrils. Always listen to your body and exhale through your mouth if needed. It's done with mudras and mantras. Mudras are hand postures, mantras are chanting. I tell them to feel free to participate in the chant or feel free to just listen and allow those words to flow over you. All right. Long-term effects of holding trauma in your body include hormone overproduction, organ and tissue damage, brain and the hippocampal region shrinking, making it take longer to repair, causing difficulty in relationships, violence, stress, insomnia, gut and digestion problems, which can cause more problems with your brain if your gut is leaking microglia into the blood system, going up, attacking that brain, and causing depression because it attacked the norepinephrine, the dopamine, and the serotonin systems. Um, all right, where am I? There we go. Heart problems, liver problems, lowered immunity. I invite you to use herbs in the form of Campo compounds, which are the Japanese compounds, traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic herbs, mushrooms, and a change in diet to improve a lot of what is done to your body in times of extreme trauma or while in the throes of addiction. Releasing and replacing trauma begins with education. When you know better, you do better. Releasing trauma that is physically trapped in your body allows you to stop living the same life with the same people in different clothes. How many times do you want to be with the same partner? Have the same job? Have the same life experience? You're probably done with that, right? So why is it so difficult to move on? Because of the trauma trapped in your body. Let's talk trauma. What is trauma? Trauma is an emotional response to a terrible event like rape, being beaten, cheated on, losing your home, narcissistic relationships, discrimination and racism, loss of a job, car, or other large security item, experiencing a car wreck, natural disaster, or the death of a loved one. Also, being in an extremely abusive childhood situation, other than just sexual abuse, you can have your parents telling you that you're no good or telling you that the way you behave is not correct. That is very traumatic because they're telling you, even as a small child, that what you are is wrong. Trauma that gets trapped. These are all traumatic events that register as large emotions in your body. Now, there are numbers that say 30% of people will experience four or more of these. I feel that number is super conservative, as I myself have experienced most of these. What happens when you experience trauma? According to Dr. Nelson, when you experience trauma, you feel it. It becomes stored in a specific area of your body, and your sympathetic nervous system has a pre-selected response. I feel this coming at me. It's going to store here. This is how I behave. If you can't feel those emotions when you first have them, like say you got bad news at work and you have to get through the rest of your work shift and you're just like, okay, I got this, I got this, I got this. That is now trapped in your body. And then what happens? So once that emotion's trapped in your body, it creates its own energy vibration, its own resonance. It gets the cells around it to resonate at that, and it grows and it grows. And then it sends out signals. This is my energy. And it attracts the same type of energy, like attracts like, right? You know, like misery loves company. There's a reason for that saying. Because when you're miserable, people will just, you're attracting that misery to you. Um, you know, you have, if you're in a narcissistic relationship, you may have been, this may not be your first one. You're in an abusive relationship, may not be your first one because you didn't release that trauma. Let's talk about your first trauma. Your first trauma was likely generational and experienced seconds after you were born. When you're pushed or pulled from your mother's body, what does the doctor do? What does the doctor do? Throws you on your mom's heart chakra. What have we said about that heart chakra? That heart chakra combined with that dantian point registers as its own entity, and it is the largest exchange of energies that we have in our bodies. We have all those psychic points, our third eye behind our neck right here, which is really close to our hippocampal and area. We have behind our shoulders, you have the wrists, you have your lower back and your hips, you have behind your knees, and you have your ankles, right? You have on your heart, you have all of these psychic points, and the heart being one of the largest ones of them. And notice most of these psychic points are very intimate points. And if you have like face to face sex, most of your psychic points touch the other person's. So be careful if you're just trying to have a good time and you're not trying to exchange energies. Be careful in the manner in which you're having sex. Um, anyway, back to trauma. So they put you on your mom's heart chakra. So what happens? You're this pure little bundle of energy, this love, this happiness, this curiousness, this unguarded, yay, I'm here, guys, I made it. They throw you up there. Your mom didn't heal anything, did she? Or if she did, she's a unicorn. You need to thank her shit for that, man, because that rarely happens. But if she didn't do her shadow work, all of her trauma that's trapped in her just got imbued to her. Not only that, but her mother's trauma, which was pushed to her, and her grandmothers, and her great grandmothers, and her great great grandmothers, and her great 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 grandmothers. So you see where I'm going. You got all of this trauma pushed into you that has never been healed because as women, we're told to suck it up. We can't deal with it. I myself was guilty during my first marriage of going and crying in the shower every single morning. My kids never saw me cry. They thought I was Superwoman. I failed my kids in that manner because they failed to see me as human, and they held themselves to unrealistic expectations because I held myself to unrealistic expectations because of generational trauma. We repeated the same familial trauma because it was pushed into our bodies. All right. So, how do you get rid of these traumas? One of the most uncomfortable and most effective ways is shadow work. Yes, sitting with your traumas. These things that have happened to you and traumas you've caused other people. We didn't do this yesterday, and we're not going to pretend you haven't caused other people trauma because if you have been traumatized, you have traumatized other people. People who are hurt other people, not on purpose, but you did traumatize someone, so you're going to have to deal with that too. I invite you when you're comfortable to sit there, feel those first emotions, allow those emotions in your body, really feel them, cry, scream, beat the crap out of some pillows, do whatever it is you need to do to let those emotions out. Yes. Notice I said screaming. Screaming is a part of release, as is crying, vibration, and water. Releasing those emotions when you feel them is important in maintaining a balanced energetic system, therefore, a balanced physical system. Because when you hold these in, especially when you hold in like anger and hate and stuff, that affects your gut. Your gut affects a lot more than you think. It affects your ability to, it affects your brain's ability to heal and do a lot of things. It also affects your ability to have children because there is a gonad gut axis as well. If you've been trying to have kids, this may be why you may need to release some of these energies and allow your body to start healing those energetic bodies. So the first time you do shadow work, it hurts like a motherfucker. Okay, pardon the cussing. But it does. It's like pouring peroxide on a raw cut, man. A big, big, big raw cut. Ah, so hurtful. Second time, more bubble. Still bubbly, still stingy, but not as bad. The third time, it's like maybe no bubbles. You're gonna have to sit with some more often than that. You're gonna have to sit with others less often than that. They'll be healed faster. The more you do it, the easier it will be. Like I said, make sure you're in a really good headspace when you begin this. Um, Vibrational healing is a really, really, really amazing trauma release tool. So, screaming is vibrational healing. We tell our kids to shush all the time. They need a space where they can go and cry and scream when they're feeling these big emotions, and they are feeling these emotions to the point their words don't make sense to them to come out. Let them go cry and scream and come back and revisit the situation later. You may still need to utilize this thing where you can go cry and scream, kick, beat a pillow, do whatever, and then come back and visit it later and explain yourself. I'm not saying let them be abusive with it. I'm just saying let them use it when their feelings are so big that they can't use their words. You've been there as an adult, you've been there. It's like you're so mad, you know the words you want to say, or you're so sad, you know the words you want to say, you can feel them, you just can't say them because you need to release that big wah first, and then everything will calm down and those words will come out. All right, so vibrations can also be heard sound music, drums, guitars, sound bowls, tuning forks, hula hoops, twerking, dancing, yoga, aerial and acro yoga are amazing for that. Kundalini Yoga as well. Screaming, chanting, meditations, and mantras. These are all different types of vibrations. Some come from us, some come from our movements, and some come from the vibrations of items we're holding, listening to, or allowing to be used on us. Massage, Reiki, acupuncture, and chiropractic therapies are also forms of vibrational release. If you vibe with any of those, please see a practitioner at least one time a month. Notice the majority of the releases are hip oriented. That's because most of your trauma is held in your hip, and that's psoas muscle group. It's a muscle that wraps around your lower back and down your legs. You can help stimulate that by stimulating that vagus nerve, which runs down the entirety of your spine with offshoots into all your major organs. Ohming is the best way to do this, but just stimulating it in any way, shape, or form. If you ever feel called to, while you're doing this, to let out a noise, let that noise out. That's your body saying, hey, we need this to help heal. So just let it out. All right. So one of the most important steps in healing from trauma is replacing what you've just released. So we've released all this trauma. We've done our shadow work, done your vibrational healing with the whatever choice it was that you chose to your vibrational healing with. Doing your part, filling it with love and light, doing your chakra, everything. Um, so why? Why are you still in the same loop? Okay, because you didn't program yourself. You left yourself open for other people's programming. And what do I mean by programming? And this will be the last thing we cover. And then I did do a 45-minute Kundalini sequence, which I will probably do this afternoon and post later. So programming involves Kodadama, and Kodadama is a Japanese concept. Literally translated means word spirit. Koda, word, Dhamma, spirit. Our body's 70% water. Water holds memory. You find this out if you take a cup of water, put it in 3 or 4 different receptacles, touch each of those things with different items, put one drop under the microscope, and you can see each of those slides holds a different formation of water. Ugly cry, one formation. Happy cry, one formation. Water holds memory. Um, Water holds memory. You are 70% water. Words have meaning. Okay, Japanese will not even allow words like cut, sever, end, stop, split, or anything that denotes separation at the ending of a wedding. They don't even end the wedding. They open to their lives beginning. Students can't use cut, fail, slip, fall, etc. when taking tests because of this. There are tons of, and I invite you to do this on your own, YouTube, some videos of the rice experiment. So you speak nicely to this rice, it stays white. You speak meanly to this rice, turns black. Ignore this one, it turns into sludge, which is why some kids act up because they inherently know bad attention is better than no attention. That's why they act up. Yeah, because they need that attention. They know they need that attention to survive, and they know that they need that bad attention better than no attention. All right, so you've released this trauma. You have this empty, open spot in your body. You have this water in your body. You didn't reprogram it. You're susceptible to what everybody else's plan is for you. They may think they have your best interest at heart, but they don't know all of you because you are the only you that's been with you the whole time. You know all of your experiences. They know some of your experiences. If they know experiences that weren't with you, it's just because you shared your experiences, but you also shared your perspective. And depending on where you were in your life, it may have been a traumatized perspective, and that perspective may change. So you're allowing people who are not even 100% familiar with you to program you. Hey, you're good at math, go be an accountant. So you do that. You're not happier, but you're not happy. You're back to square one because you allowed them to program you. You had this thing that lived in you for so long, and then you had this empty, vacuous spot, even though you did all your work and you filled those chakras and you pushed out with love and light. You still have this empty spot that was your trauma for so long. It was you. Now it's not you. It's gone, right? So you need to program you. The easiest way to do this until you get back to who who you are, because we've got to work through who we've been told we are and all the things that we're good at, but we don't really vibe with. They don't like make our heart fly or make our soul shine. The best things for yourself that you can do, find a love song that you love and find a I want to do song that you love. Sing those 2 songs to yourself butt naked first thing in the morning. Go pee, but don't get cute. Sing those to yourself. Check your body out. Get funky. Get sexy with it. Get that confidence back. Get that love vibe back and get that you back. And then listen to some I am affirmations. I am affirmations usually say I am strong, I am powerful, I am kind, I am loving, that type of thing. Adjectives that you probably are or would like to get back to being. And find a guided meditation or two that you vibe with. These things are all great tools to fill that water memory with things of your choosing until your brain quiets down and until all your body systems quiet down enough from releasing all of this trauma to where you realize what it is that you want to do. My healers, I offer you these tools in your healing aspects, not only for your clients, but for yourself. And please keep this in mind, people who are healing. All of the healers that I know personally have all been very traumatized people, and they make very powerful healers. So keep that in mind. This may be your jam. You might not even know. Some food for thought, because this was a brief presentation on a very long subject, and I will be doing a couple of day-long things on this. Crystals hold energies and work very well with healing. Listen to you when choosing the crystal, keeping in mind that different shapes facilitate different needs as well. There will be opposing viewpoints on the metaphysical benefits of crystals and viewpoints that agree. That's because we've all had different experiences. Each crystal has a baseline or a common experience amongst most people. The fine-tuning experiences tend to be different based on people's personal lives. They're all correct, okay? They're all correct. This person says this happens with rose quartz, it happens for them with rose quartz. If this person says this happens for them with malachite, happens with them for malachite. Doesn't mean it's going to happen for you. There are certain stones I don't vibe with. I have never vibed with. and I might never vibe with. I might vibe with them once my energy shift a little bit more, but currently I don't, so I don't mess with them. Listen to you, don't listen to other people's words. Okay, and then the foods. Foods have energies. You know this because you've eaten things that make your body happy. Woo, love this. And you've eaten things that you're drawn to when you're sad, right? Keep in mind, the higher you want to vibe, the more colors your food need to have. Avoid those white foods. Foods equals sugars equals inflammation. Body will always address inflammation first. Energy bodies, spiritual bodies, and most importantly, physical bodies when trying to recover those systems from the trauma or from drug addiction or whatever it is that we're recovering from, most likely trauma. But that keeps our bodies inflamed as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you tune in tomorrow for the Kundalini Yoga portion of it because that will be a nice, gentle physical release. And until next time, Satnam.